Hey guys, this is Neil, and in this quick video, I'm just going to give you a really simple concept for how to get a nonfiction book published. And I'm going to do that through the telling of a story. A number of years ago, I read a book proposal written by a yoga teacher that was so poorly done that I was sure every publisher would reject it. But then I took the author of that proposal through 3 rounds of revisions to make it better. And the funniest thing happened. She got not just 1 offer from publishers, but 2. She has since gone on to publish a second book and has enjoyed all the benefits that the success of being a published author attracts. At the time, I was working at Penguin as an editor. It was my job to review both fiction submissions in the form of full manuscripts, as well as nonfiction submissions in the form of book proposals, the concept-driven overviews of book projects yet to be written. I offered to help her in the form of feedback and guidance. We weren't going to acquire the project where I work, but perhaps, if I helped her to create a viable proposal, she could attract an agent and get a deal elsewhere. And of course, this is exactly what happened. The data I've read states that 99% of book proposals are rejected by publishers. My experience at Penguin suggested that the actual number is actually higher than that. But the question is, why? Why are so many projects rejected? What was so bad about the yoga teacher's proposal when I first read it, and why did the changes we made lead to so much success? When she first created the proposal, that author made the same mistake that most authors make. They believe that their value as an author is based on their ability to say something new. They believe it's their job to be original because they'll only be successful when they say something no one has ever said before. But this is completely untrue. Each person who buys a nonfiction book that teaches them how to do something is hung up on a problem they want to solve. Maybe they're trying to lose weight through a fitness regimen, or maybe they're trying to embrace best business practices. These problems are the things that flood into their minds as they crawl out of bed in the morning, or when they're stuck in traffic several hours later. But at what point do they care about finding a book that is completely original? The answer? Never. The yoga teacher was pitching a personal growth book, and there are indeed many personal growth books that come out every year. But in executing the content, she filled it with cutesy terms, puns, and a bunch of phrases that included a trademark logo to demonstrate it was her own intellectual property. She thought that no one would buy a book that didn't in some way set itself apart from what was out there. What this did, though, was create more labor for the reader. Before they could take in information, they had to first decipher what this invented terminology meant. Though she thought that the value of her content was defined by its originality, this presumed originality was the very reason why it was going to be rejected. In fact, most proposals that earn book deals are valued by publishing professionals for a different reason entirely. After we went through 3 rounds of revision, the author sent it to an established, reputable agent with all of the right industry contacts. The story, as the author told it to me later on, was that the agent took a bunch of submissions into the bathtub with her one night and, when she got the author's proposal, couldn't put it down. She then went on submission with it and got 2 different offers from 2 different publishers. The agent couldn't put it down because when I had the author make changes, I had her do things like incorporate engaging stories that drew the reader in right away, provide simple explanations for the underlying concepts, and write out instructions that the reader could easily implement right away. Each one of these things was based on a very simple idea. Her value as an author was based not on her originality, but on her ability to fulfill the needs of her reader. The reason why the agent couldn't put the proposal down was because every editorial decision I had her make was in specific service of the reader's needs. It didn't just ply the reader with information, but got them emotionally invested in absorbing that information as well. How do you get a nonfiction book published? When you address the needs of the reader in a viable way. A reader's needs will be met when certain principles are incorporated into a book proposal's execution. Then, publishing professionals will fall all over themselves to get on board. What are these principles? Find out in my next free training by clicking below.